Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Lotus Chat Worldwide. Thank you so
Right.
much for
Oh,
joining us today. And today we have Zian.
of course. Yeah. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Zian. It's so great for us to get together again for another episode. I can't believe that we are already in episode 92.
Yes.
I'm so happy that we're still going. And to all of our viewers, all of our listeners out there, thank you so much for your continued support of our channel. And please, if you find anything that you like that we discuss, share this episode or even share the channel with your friends. Definitely down below, we have of course, our YouTube channel that if you're watching from YouTube, and our Spotify podcast as well. So definitely take a look at that and subscribe if you can. So today's episode that we're doing
Mhm.
is where does wisdom come from? And I thought it would be a great topic to just kind of mull over and see like how do we feel about like where did we get the wisdom that we've gained to be here with you guys today? Because clearly, we know that there are plenty of speakers out there who talk about empowerment and self-love and various other topics. Zian has a wonderful, wonderful program that she actually is a part of that I would love for her to talk about in this episode as well. And just for us, how we even met, we met through a program that definitely did give us a lot of wisdom about
Mm.
self, about life, about various aspects of life. And that is why we felt creating this channel was something that we wanted to do. So that's just a little background. You can definitely check out all of our other episodes to kind of get a little more history about us and the Lotus Ladies and how this happened. So Zian, how would you define wisdom? Like if you were to give somebody a definition about what wisdom is, how would you define it?
Before I get into mine, I'm gonna tell you the definition from Google. So I was
Okay,
like searching on Google,
let's
and Google says wisdom means the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. And I kind of like that good judgment bit because I think wisdom to me is not just, something that's very theoretical, but then it's also very practical. So you learn through life. I think life itself is one of the greatest source of wisdom, a greatest, teacher to us. What about you? How would you define wisdom?
Ooh, Zian, I love that you gave us the definition via the dictionary about what wisdom is. And I loved how you said that wisdom can come from life itself, life experience. I think that was one of the things growing up that I heard in my household about how one could be, very wise when it comes to like the books one reads or the podcasts or the YouTube people that one listens to, or the audiobooks, whatnot, that one
Mhm.
listens to on the way to work. But I do feel like you can also get a lot of wisdom just from the life experiences that you have, the people
Yes,
that you meet who
definitely.
teach you along the way. So that for me is how I define wisdom, is that like Zian said, wisdom can come from many avenues, not just from a book
Mm.
or something that you've heard. So Zian, what about you? How would you define it personally?
Yeah, definitely. For me personally, wisdom is something that you get through life experience, something that you have to experience it and not just advices from, parents, teachers, and, mentors, but something that you have to know it's a true experience. But
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
what I'm really interested in to find out and dig deeper with you is what is one of the, words of wisdom that you get from maybe a friend or a parent or a teacher that kind of, sticks true with you and you want to share?
That's a great question. And for all of you out there who have not had a chance to listen to our Pearls of Wisdom episodes, where we asked each of our Lotus ladies to give their pearls of wisdom that they've learned along the way, definitely check that one out because I'm going to name only one. And I'm sure the ones that I heard Zian name in that episode were just great. So
Mhm.
definitely take a look. It's on our channel called Pearls of Wisdom. So let me give you one pearl of wisdom now. Growing up, it was one of those things where as you grow into adulthood and you
Yeah.
start trying to figure out who you are and you start kind of, being interested in wanting to be, in relationship with others, specifically men, for example. There comes a lot of expectation, I guess, because when you're young, you're expecting certain things.
Mm,
And I know one of the things that my grandfather told me when I was going through kind of like a little rough patch of trying to figure out why certain things were happening the way they were, where he said, if they wanted to, they would. And I've
mm,
actually heard that multiple times from, different, Instagram posts and
mm,
speakers where if somebody, and this isn't just men, that you're in a relationship with, or a woman, or anyone that you're in
mm,
relationship with, this is basically anyone that you want to have a connection with. If they wanted to have a connection with you and nurture the relationship, they would. And they
mm.
would take the time and they would make the effort and they
Yes.
would do X, Y, Z to connect with you both, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Like
Mm,
that's what they would do. So I've carried that with me. And unfortunately, my grandfather has, did pass, but it's one of those words that, I kept with me that if they wanted to, they would. And
oh
so,
wow.
yeah. Yeah.
I love
How
it.
about you, Zian?
I love a good grandpa wisdom, and I love that, and it's so true because sometimes we think, oh, should we have done it better? Is it not the right
Yeah.
time? We kind of like think about all these things, but then, yeah, he's right. If they wanted to, they would. And
Yeah.
for me, one of my sources of wisdom is definitely from my beloved mom. And one of the, great things that she always tell me is to really focus on the things that I can control, which in her context was inner beauty. So she always talk about, focus on getting education, focus on your
Mhm.
character, focus on your fitness routine, things that's within your control and things that people can't take away from you.
Exactly. I love that. That is
Mm.
really great advice, especially because, like, there are definitely things that happen in life, but one of the things that I found will always be yours is what you yourself have put your mind and your body and your heart into. Like, nobody can take that away from you. And, it's
Definitely.
funny that your mom said that to you too, because my family also said very similar things to me about how important education is, how important
Mm,
that no those things that you learn will always stick with you and will always
mm,
be those things that you end up coming back to, and whatever degree or whatever
mm.
you decide to pursue, those things that you've learned in school will come back. And to
Yeah.
this day, guys, I will swear by it. There were things in school that I learned that even to this day I'm like, oh my God, I'm using it now. So for
Yeah.
all of, if you have kids out there who are like, oh, why this, why, why school, why do I have to study?
Mm,
Well, it's definitely one of those things where you just know later in life
mm,
it's going to come up, and why education and educational programming is so important.
mm,
It's what you watch, what you teach your kids, and it's so important. So Zian, we have a couple minutes left, and what I did want to kind of talk with you a little bit more about is there, like we mentioned in the beginning, there are some individuals who would say that, books, they call what book smarts versus street smarts, right?
yeah.
Like, and that is something that I think many people would say is also relevant to where does wisdom come from? What
Mm.
are some of the things that you feel that you have learned, in either of those categories that you would like to impart to others before we end this episode? Aside from
Mm.
that pearl of wisdom we talked about.
I think wisdom comes from both book smart and street smart. It's not, either one. I think it's a balance of both because I think wisdom that comes from books and knowledge and theories, those gives you maturity. But then wisdom that comes from life and practical learnings and life experience itself, that gives you a different experience and a different context to what you gain from books. So I think a balance of both is good. Neither, one is better or the other. And I think just experience life as it is. I think wisdom is about learning. Wisdom is also about unlearning because sometimes as we grow older, we have certain
Mm.
sets of patterns that we develop ourselves. And I think unlearning those patterns so that we're able to see the world with neutral eyes, that I think gives us, wisdom. What about you?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Deanne. I will admit it was a little bit of a trick question that I asked you because I was like, I wanted to see if you would, say that it ends up being a really good balance of both, that
Yeah.
we need both because, and what you said about unlearning. As you grow in your wisdom, as you grow, and even, as an adult, we are always continuously growing and learning.
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, even to this day, I can say I know there are things that I have not yet learned that I'm excited to learn about,
Yeah.
or experiences that are coming up that I may have no idea. It's the first time I've been in it that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn something good from this
Mm,
and I'm gonna like, okay, let's see, teach me what am I gonna learn about myself through this or learn about others through this. So be open to the wisdom that you'll learn from either side, like Deanne says.
mm,
Be open to the unlearning. Be open to just being open to learning things in a new way or even questioning what you've learned throughout your
mm,
life too, because that's another thing I've definitely feel like some of my, just ways that I've learned or even thought about things has really changed in such a beautiful way.
mm.
And I feel very grateful for the experiences I've had that have led me there. But yeah, so just be open to the possibilities that wisdom can come in so many forms and so many shapes and people. So Zian, any last words for everyone here today?
No, just enjoy life. Yeah. So for those of
Yes.
you who is following us and watching us, thank you so much for, watching us on our episode. Click like, subscribe, and follow on our Lotus Chat Worldwide channels. And we will see you next time on our next topic.
Yes, we will.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Bye.